Sports. Today joining me to my left is ATI.
Did you forget what show this was for a second?
I did for a half a second.
Yeah.
This is still the part of the show I'm just not good at. You know, Chuck has been leading us down this road for years and years and years, it seems like. And, you know, he's got this stuff in his back pocket. Not so much with me. But we are the Owls Who Live Sports. Hooty-hoo! I was getting yelled at by people because they didn't hear enough hooty-hoo out of me. So, ATI, what has happened with our sports teams over the last week?
Well, we have some interesting news, but let's first start with
Sports.
The sports. I mean, it is sports news, but
it is.
Let's start with the scores.
Yes.
Women's soccer played at Austin P on Thursday. They drew 0-0.
Don't care for Austin P. How about you?
No, I'm not a big P fan. Volleyball won at North Alabama. Home against North Alabama on Friday, 3-1.
Very nice.
Yes,
Coach Schunzel has got everybody lined up and ready to roll.
He's got a heck of a team. And then they beat Central Arkansas on Sunday.
The Bears.
Yes. So that's two wins in 2 days for volleyball.
You know what's kind of weird. Going into Conference USA, we've only been doing this show for about 14 months, and I've started getting my hatred towards Bellarmine or Bellarmine or Bellarmine, and how do I say these and who do I? And now I've got to start hating all new teams because this will probably be the last time we ever play Central Arkansas.
Except for Liberty, we can keep.
And there's a couple other ones, but for the most part, a lot of these things are going by the wayside. What else happened?
Women's soccer lost 1-0 at Lipscomb, and then we had a couple tennis tournaments.
I saw that.
Yes.
How did we fare?
We played pretty well.
So I know you're dying to tell me something else. What else? What else can you tell me that could be interesting to all the nerd alerts at home?
I was scrolling through the web, and I found an interview the other day.
Everything you find on the web is true. You know that.
It is true. Okay. I found an interview with a gentleman that he submitted a FOIA request for the things that Kennesaw State has given to EA to be included in the new college football game. And I have the jerseys and the helmets we've submitted.
So explain it in layman's terms to what you just said.
So EA sent an email to our athletic department and said, hey, can we have some pictures of what your jerseys look like so that when we put you in the college football game, you can have good-looking jerseys?
It's in the game.
Yes,
it's in the game.
It is in the game.
And we're going to be in the game.
So we have the black with yellow numbers, the white with yellow numbers, and the gold with black numbers. We have a yellow helmet, a black helmet, and a gold helmet with the wings on the side. And then we have Scrappy.
Got to have Scrappy in there.
Scrappy always has to be in there. And then they shared some audio files. So we got 2 versions of the fight song and I believe the war chant.
Oh, Chuck's going to buy, Chuck doesn't even have a video game system. He's going to buy one of these just so he can listen to that song over and over.
Just so he can hear the band play You Don't Want to Go to War with the Owls at the start of the fourth quarter.
And Will, one of our tailgate leaders for the football team, has already said he will buy this, and this will be at the tailgate next year. Next year, there will be a big screen, and you'll be able to just walk up and pick your owl and play with it.
The rumor is that all of our players are going to be in the game.
It's an amazing undertaking to try to make every person from every school in the game. I mean,
but the ability to throw for 500 yards a game with Davis Bryson,
right?
That's exciting, and our guest on the O line.
Oh yeah. JT's going to be wiping people out on that video game.
He's gonna be fantastic.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. It's been a long time since I've hunkered down and just played one of those. I don't own a system because I'm afraid I wouldn't leave the house. I know who I am and what I do, and but I got a lot of friends who play these all the time.
Yeah. Are you gonna buy it just so that you can play with the Owls?
I am not. I'm gonna go over to Will's house and play on Will's controllers. I'm not gonna buy it. But
We could do a video game contest on the show. Beat ATI. ATI is very good.
ATI is very humble too.
ATI is in no way humble.
Well, you get to bring who you brought. I mean,
Yes.
you're not a humble person. Why
No.
would you start being now?
Exactly.
I mean, if you woke up looking like this every morning, would you be humble? Heck no is the answer. By the way, how many pounds have you put on this year?
So that's actually interesting. I started the year at like 129.
129.
I got up to 179.
179.
And now I'm going backwards. I've cut carbs. I'm losing weight so that I can get ripped.
So you were up to 179. Now what are you down to?
175.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's still amazing to think that you have added over 50 pounds this year.
Yes.
And I mean, taking it from a guy who adds 50 pounds all the time, this isn't how you want to add 50 pounds. This guy added 50 pounds. You can't even tell the difference, except for the shoulders and some stuff like that.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. So what else is going on around campus?
That's about it. We have Owl Madness tomorrow night. Make sure you come out to the Convocation Center, 7:00. We're gonna have dunk contests, 5-minute scrimmage.
And for anybody who's not a diehard of college basketball, can you tell us what Owl Madness is?
Owl Madness is a inter-team scrimmage, an inter-team dunk contest. So there will be no other universities, just the Owls in the Convocation Center, 7:00. I'm gonna be there. I hope all of them are
Mr.
going to be there.
Garrett's going to be
Mr.
there.
Garrett's going to be there.
He's always there.
I hope Will's not going to be there and Carrick's not going to be there.
It's okay. They show up at everything else.
Yeah.
I bet there's going to be bananas there.
The bananas will most certainly be there.
Yeah. It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. Larry, do you want to go ahead and do our first commercial?
Hey, Alvin Jameson here, the mortgage guy. Are you looking to get pre-approved for a home loan? Or maybe you want to build a house from the ground up? Are you curious, or better yet, is your significant other on your back about making renovations in your current home? Call me. I have options for you. All self-employed individuals. Are you torn between writing off all your income or having to show your income to qualify for a house? I have a third alternative for you. Whether you're a W-2 employee, self-employed individual looking to do a purchase or pull money out of your current house, or better yet, we can't forget the investors out there. If you have that high interest rate, hard money loan and looking to refinance out of it, again, give me a call. I have options. Below are the states that I'm personally licensed in. Call me, 404-587-9033. Again, 404-587-9033. Visit the website, alvinjameson.com.
And we're back. Thank you, Alvin Jameson, for your continued support of Owls Who Live Sports. And without any further ado, we'd like to bring on our guest of the day, no other than offensive lineman for your Owls, JT Pennington. Can I get a baby?
Put this on?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Just so you can hear us. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing awesome. How about y'all?
I'm good. We really appreciate you coming onto the show with us.
This is awesome.
This is awesome. Just make sure you're close to the mic and talking into it.
Yes,
So
sir,
I got a question for you. So if you're leaving Columbiana on State Route 25 and you see a guy walking down the side of the road wearing a Montevallo jersey, are you going to A, pick him up,
Okay.
B, honk your horn to scare him or swerve at him, or C, pretend you never even saw him?
We're going for C. C for sure.
You just don't even
If there's
know.
a Montevallo Bulldogs jersey, we're just going to drive on past.
What was your record again? That was your big high school rival, correct?
Yes, sir. Them and Jemison were big too, and I think I was 3-1 against them.
Oh, sorry for all those people down in Now, can you say it for me?
Montevallo.
Oh yeah. So I've got some relatives in the area, and every time she tries to say, she's like Montevallo. I'm like, what is that? That's not even any of the vowels they use in that word. But I just wanted to hear another Alabamian say it the right way. So how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Had stats class. Study a little bit for a test next week, but
that's good.
Fine.
That's
Yes,
good.
sir.
I know you told me you were getting out of class at 6:30. Wow, can I make it in time? I'm like, you're golden. You were golden. So tell me a little bit about your recruitment in high school.
So recruitment in high school, it was very weird because of COVID. COVID changed.
When were you a senior?
I was a senior in 2021. I graduated in 2021.
So your junior year was the year that almost didn't happen.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So it was very weird, and so my dad was a college football player. He played football at Alabama, and so I really tried to. We'd really try to compare experiences.
Right.
And he would tell me what would happen for him. Like a coach would either come watch his VHS tape or pull it up on the screen and watch him play. And, well, I would just have coaches call me at random times throughout the day and just saying, hey, you have a scholarship. And that's all I really got to experience. Never got to go on any visits anywhere.
Really?
Yes, sir. So a bunch of it was all over the phone, and it was a pretty weird time, but I'm thankful for it.
So how many visits did you ever make?
I got to go to 2 visits, and they were unofficial. My junior year, before everything got shut down, I went to Jacksonville State for about 2 games, and I went to the University of Auburn, or Auburn University, excuse me.
It's okay. You said your dad was an Alabama man, so it's okay to say the other.
Auburn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure. So I went there about twice, and that was about it.
Okay, so ATI was doing some research and found out that you were offered a little bit of love from Army and Navy. Is that correct?
Army and Navy, yes, sir. So out of high school, I was in the wing tee.
Okay.
So that really fits their profile, and running the ball and whatever that was. It's wing tee.
Right.
I'm not mistaken. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
wing tee. So they really love it at Army and Navy.
So, how did they come to know a guy from Shelby County, Alabama?
So what I had to do basically to get my film out there was to DM. I DM'd hundreds of thousands of coaches, like all the time throughout the day. I would just DM coaches. Here's my film. Here's my film. Here's my film. JT Pennington. Here's my film. And eventually, one of the I think the GA saw it, and he's like, "Hey, that's pretty good. And we're going to send it to this guy." And eventually, I got to meet the offensive line coach and head coach over the phone, of course. So that's.
And this was at both Navy and Army?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
And so, were either of those close? I mean, did you? How close were you to pulling the trigger? Did you ever think you were going to go and join the service?
Yes, my dad was really high on Navy.
Okay.
He said Navy's a prestigious university.
Absolutely.
If you go to Navy and graduate, you're going to be set up for life.
Yep.
So that was always an option in the back of my head was Navy. Yes, sir.
But I mean, it's got to be. People are thinking about going to play school. I'm going to go to this school. I'm going to play this sport. I'm going to do this. Choosing Army and Navy, that's a whole different path
That's
and
a
career.
rival, yes, sir.
Well, not just the rivalry, but obviously, as soon as you pick one of those 2 schools, football is now not the main thing.
Yes, sir.
And so but you were kind of close. Dad was pushing towards Navy.
Dad was pushing towards Navy for sure. Yes, sir.
So where did you end up going?
I ended up going to Jacksonville State. I know that's the bad guys, but
It's okay. You're getting ready to tell us all about how bad they were.
yes, sir. So yes, sir. I ended up going to Jacksonville State. It was one of the only, like I mentioned earlier, the only 2 schools I ever got to visit, and so I kind of was able to establish a relationship with the coaching staff,
Right.
which was really important to me, getting to meet everyone and see where I'd be and all that stuff.
And hour and a half?
Yes, sir. Not too far from home either.
Not-
Mom really
like that.
Yes, sir.
Dad's ready to send you on the other side of the globe. Get on that aircraft carrier and go, boy.
That's right. Mom like that.
Mom wants you a little closer
That's
to home.
exactly right. Yes, sir.
So you went and you played 1 season over there?
Yes, sir. I was there for 2 seasons.
2 seasons,
Redshirted
redshirted.
my freshman year. Yes, sir.
And so did you play in any games your first year?
Yes, sir. No, sir. Not my first year.
Not your first year. Tell me about that second year.
Second year, so Rich Rod came in. We had Coach Gross and his coaching staff.
Right.
And I think that November, Coach Gross left the program, and so we had an intern coach for a little bit. And then Rich Rod came in December. And it was a whole new coaching staff. Had to reestablish myself and go through that process. And
what's that like? You know, you sell yourself to go to a school or you know, anywhere, and then all of a sudden, new coaching staff. Man, he doesn't care about the last guy's paperwork or anything else. What are you doing for me today?
It's an adjustment for sure.
I bet.
I mean, just the schedule from every day. From, hey, we're going to do this, 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 and this, and we're going to wake up at a certain time. This is my way. He wanted to change the culture of the team from what was established to what he wanted. And so it was an adjustment period for sure, making sure, you know, preparing myself for what he wanted and all that.
So obviously Jacksonville State, and you transferred to KSU. Does the fact that KSU and Jacksonville State have kind of similar spread option offenses, did that help you?
Yes, sir. Yeah, for sure it helped. I loved when I was in the portal. One of the schools I was looking at was Kennesaw State. Just off the bat, I made sure to do everything in my power to get my film out on Twitter once again to make sure the coaches got to see it. And so Kennesaw was always one of my top ones I wanted to go to.
And so you were there for 2 years, so there was a home and away that you got to hang out on the sidelines for against Kennesaw.
Yes, sir.
Was there something going on during that game where you're like, you know, I could see myself wearing gold, you know?
So last year, Kennesaw State, we had so my freshman year, we played Florida State, and Jacksonville State had beaten Florida State on that Hail Mary.
Yes.
And it was one of the, you know, huge win for an FCS program, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And the very next week, we lose by 35 to Kennesaw State. I mean, after beating Florida State, who's one of the most prestigious D1 teams of all time, you know. And then last year,
nobody saw that train coming.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. And last year, at halftime, I mean, we're down 21 points, which hasn't happened all season, you know. So I mean,
And you did come back in that game, though, correct?
Yes, sir, we did. But
That's okay.
But Kennesaw State.
How could they not come back? JT was throwing blocks left and right all the game long.
Yes, sir. When they came out and scored 21 points, especially with the offense at the time, it was just boom, boom, boom. I mean, half the clock was out, and they were just running it. And no stopping it.
So once you entered the portal and DM'd all it, so you're basically just send it. Anybody
Yes,
who you can send any video, any tape,
Yes, sir.
and hoping that A, it's the right guy, or B, he's willing to forward it on.
Yes, sir. That's exactly right.
So how many people contacted you after you sent all the tape out while you were in the portal?
I had a good bunch of Division II schools contact me, and I had some old connections I've made since I was out of high school. I had some coaches from Rice send me some messages, and
Another owl?
Yes, sir. Another owl. Temple on the on the topic of owls, and Kennesaw State was one of the main big three. Yes, sir.
That's pretty wild.
That's pretty connection.
FIU didn't offer you anything? I was going to say,
no.
if you got offers from 4 owls, that'd be way too much. So, how close of a call was it? I mean, when you broke everything down, Mom was still voting for something close in the southeast.
Yes, sir. She surely was. When Coach Verapel at the time, I pronounced that correctly. I'm not making a mistake.
You did.
Okay, it's Verapel.
I think so.
Okay, thank you. And it was when he had said, "Hey," Coach Bo sat me down and was like, "Hey, we're gonna offer you a scholarship." It was an instant. I want to play for Kennesaw State for sure. On the spot, I stood up, shook his hand, told him, "Let's go work." So. There was no thought in it at all. I mean, it had the degree I wanted to get into because football's going to end eventually, right?
Sooner or later.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So what is the degree that you're looking into?
I'm in business management right now. Yes, sir. So trying to get into pharmacy and all that stuff.
Okay. So are we planning on having a family out in Middle Alabama at some point, or
for sure.
or I mean, how do you like the Kennesaw area? Is there a chance this whole new lifestyle could stay here?
The only
Mom has to come visit?
The only thing that's different from my small hometown in Alabama is the traffic. The traffic is insane.
It's crazy around here.
You really do have to prepare. If I've got to get to class at 5:30, I got to leave around 4:45. 30 minutes traffic.
How far is it? It's a mile. How we need to leave an hour early. What?
That's exactly right. Yes,
It's
sir.
crazy. It's crazy.
So obviously we're headed to Conference USA next year. Are you excited to go back to Jacksonville State?
I'm extremely excited to go back to Jacksonville State, and right now they've established themselves as a good team at Conference USA.
Absolutely.
And I'm extremely excited to show them what we can do and show them what I can do. It's going to be great.
Love the way you say that. What I can do. What we can do. What I can do.
Yes, sir.
So why should the next person who is looking to possibly, they're trying to decide right now between maybe Army, Navy, Jack State, and Kennesaw State. Mm-hmm. Why should they join you here?
Just the tradition of winning and the tradition that we want to carry forward. Every single game that's not won is, that's not the goal. We're going to win, and we're going to win by a lot. And when I'm looking at these schools, winning and being on just winning and how they handled themselves in the past and how they want to in the future is such a big aspect. I want to go win, and I want to win by a lot. And Kennesaw State has a bunch of young guys and veteran leaders that will go win and want to win. That's awesome.
And it is something to be said. We talk about it all the time on the show. Because the program's only 8 years old,
yes, sir.
There's so many programs that could win and go undefeated year after year, and they're still going to have a losing record for their history.
Yes, sir.
We're never going to be that team. Guys like you are going to make sure we're never below 500, and I mean it's just so awesome because even the winningest programs have lost a lot of games in this world.
Yes,
but tell me about what you like to eat before a game. Do they monitor offensive linemen? Because I can only imagine they don't want, hey, running back, hey, wide receiver, let's do this. And then it's like, holy crap, if we don't keep a close eye on these offensive linemen, they're going to just start eating buckets of chicken or whatever else.
So they feed us specific grilled chicken and some pasta before the game. And so
how often before the game?
It's about, I would say about 4 or 5 hours for the game.
Okay.
Good little time to digest, I'd assume. And I've got down to about science. I just eat a little bit. I like playing a little bit hungry. I don't like going out there too full.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's how I go to the amusement park. I don't like a full belly while riding that roller coaster. I'm great as long as it's an empty belly. But,
I understand.
Well, hey, let's do our next commercial. There are a lot of places to get your oil change in the Kennesaw area, but if you're looking for a personal experience, then stop in at Castrol Kennesaw Express Loop or Lost Mountain Express Loop. We'll always do our best to get you in and out quickly, safely, and without a whole lot of fuss. We're a true owner-operated business where you'll find Brian under a car or hood at one of the shops. We offer experienced, knowledgeable technicians and the latest computer software to help you maintain your new car warranty and keep your pride and joy running for the next 100,000 miles. We proudly offer Castrol products. Thank you again to Brian Bristow for being a sponsor of Owls Who Live Sports and the Three Guys Who Love Sports. Sitting here with JT Pennington. So where do you see this team next year? I mean, it's got to be a lot of excitement going up to Conference USA and these road trips. Right now you got we're going an hour this way, 2 hours this way. Next year's schedule is going to be, all right, that's a 4-hour flight. Here's that's got to be pretty exciting in the locker room.
It's extremely exciting. It's the talk of the locker room, honestly.
That's awesome.
And it's just the opportunity to go out there on national television every week and just go show what Kennesaw State's about. It's awesome.
It's so awesome. And, with all the games being Tuesdays and Wednesdays and stuff like that, you can go home, you can call home and be like, hey, Alabama's playing on Saturday. You can watch me tonight on Tuesday. And I mean, that's a heck of a selling thing. Chuck, my typical co-host Chuck Burge, he talks about that all the time, and how that it can't hurt. When you're the only game on TV,
yes,
that's who the recruits are watching that night. Because you're a football junkie. If it's a Tuesday night and you're sitting at home, there's a game on. Absolutely. So.
So where are you most excited? Are you most excited to play at Jacksonville State next year, or is there another team that you really want to get after?
So of course I'm excited to play Jacksonville State.
Absolutely.
Coming out of them and transferring from here, I want to go beat them, right? But Liberty's also been a powerhouse for such a long time, and they're good at. We play. I think they're our rivals in basketball last year. I got to catch a couple basketball games, and
unbelievable.
It was extremely intense. So Liberty. For sure is someone I want to beat.
We love to hate Liberty on the show.
We hate Liberty.
Okay, hate Liberty.
We like to hate anybody who the Kennesaw Owls might have to go against, but especially Liberty.
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe Jacksonville is probably second on that list for me, at least. I got a lot of admiration for what Jacksonville has been able to do with some of their huge upsets. They're one of the reasons why the big dogs, don't want to schedule. It's like, well, let's go for an easy game, but you better be careful who your cupcake might be, because not everybody's a cupcake.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so continuing to talk about next year, we had a conversation at the beginning of the show. So the new NCAA game is coming out next year. Are you excited to be a part of that?
I'm extremely excited to be a part of that.
And so is that's another conversation that everybody's having?
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh my God. So does everybody have a gaming system probably?
Oh, yes,
yeah.
sir, for sure.
But if you didn't, you'd be buying one.
Oh, for sure.
And you're just going to buy it and then set it up on the shelf because 30 years from now when your grandkid,
I'm in a video game, son.
you're come here, grandson. Let me tell you something. You see this pancake block? That's me. I mean, how awesome is that?
That's insane. I hope they get my ratings right. I don't want to be rated too low. I may have to make some adjustments, but
I hope they have that head of hair of yours.
gray hairs for sure.
I hope
Get
there's
the
some
face
red.
scan right.
Red
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
absolutely.
What do you think you'll be rated when it comes out?
That's a really good. That's a really good
99,
question.
I believe, is the correct answer.
I would love to say 99. Honestly, anywhere from a 70 to an 80 would be really fine for my first game.
Yeah.
This is my first time ever really starting in games and establishing myself, so I'm fine from a 70 to an 80.
So if you're there listening at EA Sports, my man JT is okay with a 70 to 80 to start out. But after next year, when we go Conference USA, he's looking to possibly up into maybe an 85, 92
sure,
or something like that going into the next year.
For sure.
And that guy, he doesn't have a system, Will Renfro. He said he's buying one and he's going to play it for the pregame, for the tailgate. So, random people are going to be, I'm taking JT. I got JT. I'm leading. Toss sweep left. Coming behind me. I mean, that's got to be awesome.
That's going to be an awesome experience for sure.
And you guys are all going to fight over your numbers.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, there's no way you're a better number than me.
Yeah,
What is up with that?
Exactly right.
Oh, my God. How did you get an 82? Because you clearly are not an 82.
That's exactly right.
If I'm a 78, you are no better than like a 64.
Yes, for sure. We're going to be talking about who's the fastest for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm a little bit faster than you. I mean, look at my 40 time. We're going to be arguing all that all the time.
That just seems so much fun, and I'm just so excited. ATI was telling us about it, and just what a cool thing, because it's existed at a lot of other campuses before, but this is part of the whole echelon that we talk about. We're moving on up. This is a team that a few years ago didn't exist, and now all of a sudden we're going Conference USA. We get paid big money when somebody comes knocking on our door and says, "Hey, you want to come play us?" Absolutely. Cut us that check, and we're going to come and show you what we're made of.
Yes, sir.
I'm just so pumped.
Yes, sir. Extremely excited.
So let me ask you this question: Who's the most famous person in your telephone?
Most famous person in my contacts. Goodness gracious.
Coach Bo's never a bad answer, but I will ask for a second answer. No offense, Coach Bo.
I think my dad and me and my dad share the same contacts.
There we go.
And Dabo Sweeney played together in college, so I think I have Dabo Sweeney.
You got Dabo's phone, okay?
Dabo Sweeney.
Yeah, I got Dabo's number in my phone. Okay, well,
somewhere.
that's not too bad, I guess. So, do you think he'll head back?
Head back to Bama eventually.
Yeah.
My family would love to hope so. After Nick Saban, I don't think Nick Saban's going anywhere anytime soon.
I think he's an android. I think he died 9 years ago, and he's just going to coach there forever.
But eventually, why not go back to the alma mater?
Well, it all depends. Following Mike Shula, yeah, absolutely, sign me up. I don't know if I want to follow Mr.
That
Saban.
is a shadow you have to live up to.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, and you can't live up to it. There is no living up to that shadow. You could win 3 out of the next 10 national championships, and you're still a failure.
Yes, sir. Won't be enough.
I'd understand if he decided not to go that direction. So, what are you most excited about moving forward for the rest of this season?
I'm excited to see what we do just after these 2 bye weeks, especially. So these 2 bye weeks, I think we've really focused on what we can do, preparing what's stopping us. Not really worried about the opponent just yet.
Correct.
But just worried about what we can control and how we finish drives. And I'm extremely excited to see what we're going to be putting up on the scoreboard here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Forcing your own will on another team instead of worrying about what they're going to bring to the table.
That's exactly right.
And so how have you seen the offense mature through this year? As far as you weren't here last year. You got to watch us from a distance a little bit. You can tell the folks back at home. Yeah, I've been watching them real close for a long time. But moving to this RPO shotgun, how's it been going? What's the take from the locker room?
From spring to now, spring.
Huge difference.
We need a new offensive coordinator, Coach K, and we balled in the spring, and I think the maturity from just knowing the playbook, of course, and just advancing our FBI, which he calls football intelligence, just advancing our FBI and just knowing what to do on certain blitz pickups and how to react in certain tight situations has just been really incredible. Just an offensive line standpoint, I really can't speak for the other positions that well, but as an offensive line, just us be able to pick up and anticipate and defeat pressure is one of the biggest factors of us right now.
So, do all offensive linemen enjoy run blocking more? Is that correct?
I specifically like run blocking more, but pass blocking is usually the favorite.
Correct. Oh, really?
Yes, sir. In the office, most of the offensive linemen I've met, pass blocking is usually the
really?
favorite. Yes, sir.
It seems like it'd be opposite to me, just because you get to impose your will on somebody a little bit more,
yes,
possibly running. But
yes,
maybe that's why it's your favorite.
Maybe.
But, we talk about all the time on the show about if you gave $500 to Alabama or Auburn or anybody else, that $500 isn't going very far. But you donate $500 to this school at this point in time, all of a sudden people are noticing you. You're getting recognition from big donors like, I don't know, maybe Maynard G. Krebs is going to give you a high five after a good donation. That's Carrick Martin, just for the record.
Yeah.
But what do you have to say to any of the people who are thinking about donating to you and the NIL fund here in Kennesaw? What's getting ready to happen here? Why should they get in on the ground floor?
We're moving to Conference USA, as we mentioned. And
absolutely.
Just invest now. Invest now, and let's watch your investment pay off here in the future.
Yeah, because it's coming.
Yes,
because it's coming. It's coming. And we talk about it all the time on the show, and we're just so excited about the road trips. These two guys right behind Larry, they live for road trips. They have followed this team to Montana and Texas and everything else. I'd love to be in charge of their Delta Fly Miles or Sky Miles, because Lord knows they're going to be cashing in a lot of them.
Yeah.
ATI, you got anything else for this gentleman?
I do not.
Well, JT, we really appreciate you coming on the show today.
It's been a pleasure.
And we look forward to seeing you out there in a couple weeks. With the 3-week bye, the two off weeks, how are those practices coming? They're pretty tough?
Yes, sir. So we're really just focusing on the fundamentals right now, just make sure we got our basics down. And towards the end, we're getting a little bit after one-on-one and that type of stuff, just preparing for the game week.
Well, JT, we're a huge fan. We look forward to rooting for you many years to come. And if we can get another big hooty-hoo for our man JT.
Appreciate y'all.
Hey, thank you. We look forward to having you back someday soon.
Yes, sir.
Have they ever put an offensive lineman on the cover of Madden?
No, but JT might be the first person on the cover of Madden.
He could be the first offensive lineman on the Madden cover.
Offensive line is just different than the rest of the Will the Thrill and Carrick up for or just Will the Thrill. We'll keep ATI in his seat, and we'll bring Will the Thrill on for some picks. Oh, bring them both in then, as long as we got plenty of chairs.
Will and Carrick.
Will and Carrick. Craziness.
That's it.
And, the camera might pan hard right at some point and notice somebody else out in the audience, because we got all sorts of people here.
We do.
You can do the ad.
Oh, okay. Tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Access has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, bachelor or bachelorette party, or something new to do when you have guests in from out of town, American Access, with their 3 Atlanta locations in Marietta, Tucker, and now in downtown at The Works, they've got something different for you. Look us up at American Access or give us a call at 678-763-3635 to schedule your next adventure. And thank you again to Dan Fisher for your continued support of the Owls Who Live Sports and Three Guys Who Love Sports. I tell you, you bring a beatnik in and expect him not to be dropping and breaking stuff. It just doesn't work that way.
I went to Sprayberry High School. You'll have to forgive me.
I don't think it
I'm
screws
impressed
on.
that you put it back together after you told me it was Sprayberry High School, but you just spun that thing on there like it was no business.
Yeah, we're used to stealing things and having to unscrew it,
Those hubcaps.
Hubcaps, those lug nuts.
So did you guys watch any Conference USA football last night?
I did not.
I did not, and my wife was controlling the remote.
That won't happen anymore come next year.
Who played last night?
Last night was Jackson State and the Red Blobs from
Western Kentucky.
The left side of Kentucky.
The left side.
The left Blobby.
Blobby, yeah.
Big fan of Blobby.
Still the craziest looking mascot I've ever seen.
That is weird.
The Syracuse mascot's up there.
Yeah, but they're the orange men. He's supposed to look like an orange.
How many oranges do they grow up in Syracuse?
Probably very few.
I worked one time at a Anheuser-Busch plant in Baldwinsville, New York, and I would say 0 would be the answer of orange groves in the Syracuse metropolitan area. Crazy.
So you couldn't get an orange tan? They have a tanning salon? Maybe you could do it that way?
Well, I was more into building Budweiser plants and not getting a tan while I was there, but it could have happened that way. Yeah. Although I did, we had that girl from Canada on the show. That was when I got closest to her home. When she said, "You've been close," I'm like, "Yeah, I went a little close." Wow, that's right in the neighborhood. It's like, what am I going to do in Baldwinsville on a Sunday? I don't know. I'll just drive towards the lake or the border, see what happens. So, how are you guys?
Doing good.
Good.
I had a vacation last week, so I'm feeling good.
How are you? How was your vacation?
It was good. I didn't do anything.
And where was your vacation? Go ahead and roll it. Stick a minute.
Oh, it was in Pensacola.
Pensacola.
So my wife and I got married there 26 years ago, and so every year during the fall we go back to Pensacola. Since I got married on Labor Day weekend, and there's always a football game that weekend, so sometime during the fall when there's an off week for Kennesaw football, we go back.
Well, it's great that Larry put this together because I was doing this earlier. And I like the fact that we have 2 New Mexico states on here, but with games that start on Wednesday and end on Tuesday, what else are you going to do?
I have to relate. I talked to a lady CPA I know that is a graduate of New Mexico State who I said, Kira, you know that New Mexico State's now in the same athletic conference with Kennesaw State starting July 1. No. We're in the Western Athletic Conference. I said, No.
They haven't been in the WAC in at least a decade.
She is a CPA, so So anyway, I explained that
not so fast, my friend.
At some point next year, somebody from New Mexico State will show up in Kennesaw play sport.
Oh, absolutely.
She said, "I'm buying tickets."
There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
And maybe she can go to the Kennesaw State game that's in New Mexico and show some of the Owls who make the trip where to eat and what to do.
So.
That wouldn't be bad.
New Mexico State is the Aggies, right?
Yeah.
Although we started combining nicknames. Agbos. It's kind of a Lobos.
Aggies. Yeah. I see what you did.
We're pretty fast like that. It's amazing stuff.
The reason they're on twice is because they play tonight and then they play Tuesday.
Correct. No, I made a list too, and I got them on there twice as well. So yes. So how bad is FIU? Because if you look at this, FIU at Sam Houston. The game started at 7:00, right when we did.
Yes,
so
right.
I don't know who's winning right now, but does anybody know what Sam Houston's record is?
Oh, and whatever they played.
Yes.
Correct. They're undefeated, and I don't know. How are they still favored over FIU?
Yeah.
Well, I think FIU is undefeated as well.
They're defeated.
Yeah, they're not undefeated. They're
They're
defeated.
They're defeated.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I'm like, wow, that's really, really bad. I don't know how that happens. I really don't know how that happens.
I believe FIU is up 3-0.
It is. They're up 3-0, so technically 8-0. I mean, all them boys in Vegas. But 0-6, and FIU's 3-4. So I mean, they might not have played 3 good teams, but 3-4 versus 0-6, and somehow Vegas still thinks 0-6 is where it's at.
Right.
What say you, Will?
Sam Houston has fallen a long way from winning the national championship 2 years ago.
Ever since the Alamo, this team has gone downhill quick.
That's correct.
Never forget the Alamo.
Ever since they heard I'm coming back to town in a couple weeks, they haven't been winning.
That is. Do you think that's a connection?
It's whenever I scheduled my flight to go back to Houston, they haven't won a game since then.
Did you schedule that around the snowstorm that we had 6 years ago that kept a lot of people from going to that game?
Garrett and I sat on the tarmac for an hour while they de-iced the plane. We were one of the last few planes to get out of town.
That storm was here?
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say, not a lot of snowstorms ever hit Houston.
That was the trip we took the grill in the checked luggage.
That's why I was telling JT. I'm like, these guys over here, they're gonna see you at all these locations.
Yeah, we just for those who might want to go and their spouse is giving them a difficult time about it. Huntsville, Texas, is not but an hour and a half from Waco.
Wacko.
And Chip and Joanna.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, you could go to Magnolia and see the silos. It's a great, hey, honey, would you like to go see Chip and Joanna?
So I went out to Texas in October of 2020. So the world started coming back, but not fully. And we spent the first couple days in San Antonio, and I had a friend offer me games 6 and 7 in the NLCS Braves-Dodgers that were being played in Arlington. So we watched Game 5, and I was rooting for the Braves because I knew my own history and my own luck. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want, we'll win tonight. We'll have a great rest of our vacation. Didn't work out that way. So the next day we drive up. We stop in Waco, and I'm like, okay, let's go find out where Joanna is. I know the wife's going to love this. And I turn this corner. I swear to God, I thought the Rolling Stones must have been playing in town. It was like there are thousands of people on this sidewalk. It is 10 in the morning. We're nowhere near a stadium. What is this? Oh, that's for their pastries.
Yeah.
Their
my goodness.
pastries. I mean, crazy. So yes, anybody who's looking for an angle, I think Carrick hooked you up with one.
Yes.
They
That's
all
a great.
wanna go.
Oh, honey, I love you.
But
I got a lot of sweet sugar that weekend.
I just want to go see the silos with you.
Yes.
I've been selling how good the grocery store HEB is to my wife so that we don't have to go to this stand in line for some pastries.
Oh my!
Let's hope Charlie's not watching.
Charlie is way too smart for any of those types of. She's like, Will's talking. He's trying to talk me into something.
I will say this: when we went to Magnolia and we went in the shop, which was huge, I met a KSU graduate who was working there.
Really?
Yeah.
And you recognize them, or you had KSU?
I had my KSU stuff on, and she said, "Oh, are you a KSU?"
That's because Carrick always has his KSU stuff on. Well, matters not where he goes. So FIU at Sam Houston. FIU's getting 5.5. What are we going with?
Owls.
They're not the Owls. They're the Panthers.
Oh.
FAU.
Well, I'll go with the
Owls.
Yosemite Sam then.
Going FIU.
FIU?
Yeah.
I'm going FIU.
You're going FIU? I have to go FIU. One, they're
Guns up.
They're up 8.5-0, and Sam Houston still hasn't won anything. So I'm giving the axe to Sam Houston.
Well,
Just be glad.
I'll be more popular in Huntsville than you will.
Well, just be glad they didn't have one of these at the Alamo, because I mean it could have been uglier. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Hey, we're going there next year.
Yeah.
We're playing San Antonio.
UTSA.
In the
Road
In
Runners?
Alamo Dome.
In the Alamo Dome.
Yes.
Labor Day weekend.
August 31st.
Kicking off our season. What, it'll be
Yes.
our second game of the year?
That'll
or
be our
something?
first game, I think.
First game?
Well,
Wow.
it's the only one we've got scheduled.
They've played
Only
far.
date that's locked in.
They've played basketball national championships in that stadium.
They have. They've done a lot of cool stuff.
There's
in
a
that
lot
city.
of stuff that goes on in that building.
Yeah.
It's not owned by the school. It's a public building.
It's San Antonio is a cool little place. You know, everybody loves the river walk.
Yeah.
Everything else in the town beats the Riverwalk to me. You know, Riverwalk is pretty, but you know, you go here, or there, and it's just amazing. So, second game on tap, New Mexico State at UTEP. That's one of the shortest road trips this new conference will ever have.
Yes.
For these teams.
Yeah, it's right across the border from each other.
Yeah. What
And
do you
right
think,
across the border
ATI?
from Mexico as well.
I'm going to go with the Agbos because of my friend Kerry, CPA.
Okay.
I like New Mexico State's favored by 3. I don't really know a ton about these teams this year, but I'll take the El Pasoans.
The El Pasoans. New Mexico State is
The
4-3. They've beat
Former
nobody you've ever heard
NCAA
of.
basketball champs, too.
Never.
All right.
The greatest.
Texas Western.
Texas Western, 1965.
If Callie, remember Callie Terza, our hammer throw
Yes.
guest that we've had on the show, I have to go with her logic on why UTEP will lose. So I'm going with New Mexico because UTEP is the minors and they're not major.
I tell you, for somebody who could throw any of us through that window, she has a way of cutting through all the garbage and just seeing truth and facts.
That was the best logic I would think we've had on this show.
Doesn't take a lot to get the best logic this show's ever seen. But I still
entertained
test with
easily.
you. I still agree with you. I'm going New Mexico State as well, at least this week.
Oh, wait, we've got another New Mexico State.
Oh, yeah. Our next game's New Mexico State. New Mexico State at Louisiana Tech. And once again, this game will be next Tuesday, I believe.
Yes, the Bulldogs have played well this year. I heard them. They played Nebraska, maybe. No, they played Minnesota. I watched them play Minnesota. They look good against Minnesota.
They're 3-5. They're 2-2 in the conference. And let's see, what have they done? Lost to SMU, lost to North Texas, lost to Nebraska, lost to Western Kentucky.
Yeah. I watched them
They
play
were
Nebraska.
lost to the Red Blob.
Yeah, and they also lost to the Blue Raiders. A lot of losing going on around here.
Sonny Cumbie may not be getting the job done.
No, there's a decent chance.
I'm going with the Bulldogs, La Tech. It's the only time I will root for Bulldogs.
New Mexico State, man, I really wish I knew what happened in this next game. I'm gonna go with New Mexico State anyway. That way I picked them in both games. So if they just
Go
pull out
50-50,
one, at least I haven't gone over it. Now, if UTEP and Louisiana Tech smack them around, I will never pick you again. And don't think I won't remember this.
Let's make sure you're not a bad name in Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
That sheriff out there put you under the jail.
We got a Buford T. Pusser out there?
I think so.
Oh, no.
In where?
Las Cruces.
Las Cruces,
Cruces,
New
New
Mexico.
Okay, add that to my lexicon of difficult things to say. They're
Well-
with DJ Uyunglele, Puka Nakua, and Louis Oosthuizen.
Can't speak Spanish?
No,
Las Cruces.
Las Cruces.
Yeah, it's not very difficult to say. Not like any of those other things you just mentioned.
Puka Nakua?
Puka Nakua.
Yeah, well, don't forget Azoya Olufaha. You got to remember how to spell that one or say that one.
I can't say it or spell it, please. Check.
Big Z.
Big Z. That's why we
Big
call
Z.
him. That's
There
why we
you
call
go.
him Big
There you
Z.
go. There you go. So what you say?
Oh, I'm going to go with New Mexico again. I'm going to take the same logic, and hopefully, if they go 50-50, I get one of them.
At least one of them. And then our final
No,
game.
I believe Callie's logic for La Tech was they're the Bulldogs and we always root for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, she was a Bulldog fan.
Yes.
So you're the only La Tech.
I think I'm the only La Tech person.
No, I'm for the Agbos.
Correct. We'll see how that works out. And then, anybody know who's in second place in Conference USA right now?
Jacksonville State.
That is correct. They're 4-1 in the conference, but way on behind that undefeated Liberty squad.
With the easiest
schedule in the country.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting, though. They're actually playing somebody who has a winning record in the Red Blobs of left Kentucky. Liberty at
Kentucky.
Well, I don't want to call them Western, so we just call them the left side.
Why can't we call them Western?
It's so boring. Eastern, Western.
They're actually central or middle Kentucky because
Bowling Green, absolutely.
Hickman, Kentucky is Western Kentucky,
Paducah.
right on the river. Yeah, Paducah, right on the river.
Absolutely.
I've been to Paducah. It's not near Paducah.
It is nowhere near Paducah. But yeah, this Liberty team, they've got the easiest schedule, and you know what? They've done a lot with it.
They're steamrolling people.
34-24, 33-17, 55-27, 38-6, 31-13, put up 42 against Middle Tennessee. They're just scoring at will.
Yeah.
Scoring at will.
Well, we beat them the last time we were in wherever they are.
They're not
Lynchburg,
Lynchburg.
Virginia.
Are they Lynchburg?
Yes.
They're the Lynchburg that doesn't make Jack Daniels.
Yes.
That we know of.
Yeah, the Lynchburg, not the
I like
Lynchburg
the way
we're
he's thinking.
playing this year.
You know what they say about Baptists. Difference between Baptists and Methodists. The Baptist will not look you in the eye and say hi to you in the liquor
At
store.
the liquor store.
Right. Yeah, I have my 4 truths of religion. Protestants don't recognize the Pope as the leader of the Christian church. And Baptists do not recognize anybody at Hooters or the liquor store. And it does work out that way because no matter if you tell the Baptists that joke, they just kind of look at you like, yeah.
And that's why.
But yeah, I have no spread on the games for next week, but I am definitely giving that to Western Kentucky. I don't see anybody beating Liberty, which is fine. They can go undefeated until we play them next, so that we enjoy it
Stings
that
worse.
much more.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I hate Liberty. Western Kentucky. Give me Western
Oh my
Kentucky.
goodness.
Anybody
No,
wants to
I'm
bring
going to take Liberty though.
I'm going with the Red Blobs.
Go with the Red Blobs. There you go.
I just can't pick Liberty. And Justin Sumter got on the ESPN Sports Center top 10 plays of the day the last time we played Liberty there. And,
I do remember that.
It was an
I remember
awesome
that.
play that he made.
He had the one-handed catch in the end zone,
Right.
and we were on. That was the first time we were featured in the top 10s on ESPN.
Yes.
Wow,
We were also featured when Isaac Foster had a punt return for a touchdown.
You know what's cool is everybody's got a glass case where they put a trophy or a cup. There should be something for that. Where there's a small TV that just shows that play. I mean, really, hey, this is the first time we were ever on that channel. Well, that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, and Justin, by the way, ended up playing professionally in the Canadian League for a while.
Gotcha. Where was he? Do you know?
Oh,
Someplace cold.
someplace.
Calgary, maybe?
Stampeders?
Yeah, that's where he was. I think that's where he was.
Yeah, it's all miserably cold. 90% of the Canadian population lives within 100 miles of the United States border. So they've got this massive country, but everybody lives in that one little section right above. Can you blame them? I mean, we don't go to North Dakota because we think it's worthless. Calgary's another 3 hours up the. Holy moly! I'm not interested, except for maybe that rodeo.
If you ever get a chance, ask Coach Coe, our baseball coach, about his wife, who was an All-American here at Kennesaw State. Kara Dornstadter was her maiden name. He married her, and she is from, I believe, Calgary. And ask Coach Coe about his last trip there for Christmas break.
You don't go to Canada for Christmas.
You don't go to Canada ever.
That sounds like a start of a 3-hour tour. Yeah, that's a 3-week tour.
Yeah, his outing every day was to go to the mall and walk.
Yeah, because you have to go inside to do anything. No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
You don't go to Canada for anything.
But you can blame Canada for nearly
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
We do go to Canada to get some golfers, Adam.
Yes.
Well, we do.
That you hadn't met.
No,
And
I have not.
we also got a volleyball coach out of there,
I wrote a story about them.
Yes.
and it was a great
It was
story.
a great story, too.
And we did.
You
We
should
talked
check
Pulitzer
it out.
Prize
Go
winning
to
material.
KSUOwls.com. Go to the women's golf page. Go to news.
and scroll down. Don't read the first 2 articles, but if you go to the 3rd article,
Yes.
as-
About our
as
finishing,
a-
about our 6th place finish in Tulsa.
as Carrick said, Pulitzer Prize material.
Yes.
So I have to ask because I don't know. I only know your last name as the intern. What would be your last name on this article?
Crux.
Okay.
the opposite of a good guy.
By Adam the intern.
That's what I would be looking for.
Well, but at the end of the day, who's to say that the guy doesn't keep it? Like 30 years from now, what's your name? ETI. What is ATI? It's just something I've been going by for years now. I mean, it's pretty cool sounding.
Very cool.
It beats all the things that people were calling me when I was 20. Yeah, we're not interested in that anymore. Well, guys, anything else on KSU Sports this week?
No, I was just excited about the EA Sports announcement.
I think that's
Adam made.
incredible.
That's pretty incredible.
Will, you're going out to buy a console and everything that goes with it.
And if you don't have your basketball season tickets are on sale. So basketball season starts next month. You need to get those.
And March Madness is tomorrow night, Thursday.
Owl Madness.
Owl Madness. I'm sorry. Owl Madness.
March Madness will follow Owl Madness.
We will have March Madness.
Did we mention that the baseball team had a
We did not.
12-inning scrimmage against Georgia Tech and we won?
And we beat Georgia Tech. It was a scrimmage, but yeah, we beat them last weekend.
Hey, Tech always has a good baseball team. If there's one thing you can count on, no basketball players go to that school, but that's a heck of an achievement by Coach Coe and the boys. Yes. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us today. We look forward to having the original Burge back on next week. Everybody keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And until we see you back here again next week, can I get a big hooty hoo?
Hooty hoo!
For Owls Who Love Sports.